There will be nationwide demonstrations tomorrow over the lack of action following yet more mass shootings in this country. They are led by March for Our Lives, which was formed in the aftermath of the 2018 attack at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Organizers say there will be more than 450 marches across the United States. The largest is being held at the Washington Monument. The message to Congress is, quote, "You're killing us with your inaction." Jacqueline Korn is one of the founders of March for Our Lives, and she joins me here this morning. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, Jacqueline, I know, and we talked about this earlier, and I know this must be traumatizing to see this happen time and time and time again. But in the wake of Uvalde, when you saw the news breaking about what was going down in that school and the aftermath, what went through your mind?
Well, I just knew that it was so reminiscent of what happened at my high school in Parkland in 2018. I mean, you had a teenager who should not have access to firearms getting to walk out of a gun store with a semi-automatic rifle and using that weapon to kill innocent children in the place that they're supposed to feel safest. And I just know that the people in Uvalde must be reeling after the deaths of 19 children and 2 teachers. They now have a lifetime ahead of them of healing, and they're going to face incredible trauma similar to what my friends and I deal with back in Parkland.
And it feels, though, like we've been here before, Sandy Hook, Parkland. In each of those instances, Congress fails to act. You did this march in the wake of the shooting at your school. Nothing happened. Are you hopeful that anything will change this time around?
Well, I wouldn't say nothing happened. There were actually over 150 state laws passed after the march and the shooting at my high school in 2018. And those laws have saved thousands of lives collectively.
It's important to point that out, that at the state level, there is action. For example, here in New York State, just in the wake of Uvalde, we've seen action by the governor.
Exactly. And that state change is really necessary, and we need to see more of it. But it's so important that we see federal change because of gun trafficking across state borders.
You and your classmates were thrust into the spotlight in the wake of your tragedy. How has the group changed? How have you grown since the horrific events of that day?
Yeah, after the shooting, I pretty much thrust myself into advocacy because I knew that if I was lucky enough to survive the shooting and some of my peers were not, I needed to do something productive with my fear. And so I kind of spent the rest of my high school career throwing away the rest of my childhood, really, and doing this advocacy work. But I went to college and I took a step back for a time. But now, in the wake of the Uvalde shooting and the Buffalo shooting, I think this country is at another turning point. And I really think this is the time where we're going to see real substantial change. So I'm getting back out there, organizing with my fellow peers at March for Our Lives. But I've grown so much, politically. I've come to really understand the political barriers that exist in this country, which I didn't know back then. And I know it's tough to create change, but I know it's possible.
When I meet people like you and I talk to people like you, I know that it's possible because you and your peers are going to be the ones that will change the world for a better place. You're already doing that now. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Jacqueline.